Hi everyone, today I'll be showing you how to make these string light earrings. Here are the supplies you'll need to make this project. You'll need 4 or 5 colors of glass teardrop beads. These beads are 7 millimeters by 11 millimeters, and I have them in 5 colors that mimic the string lights that I grew up with in red, blue, green, yellow, and purple. We'll need 2 of each color for a total of 10 teardrop beads. You'll also need some disc-shaped spacers. You'll need 2 of these for each teardrop bead for a total of 20. You'll also need some head pins. I prefer to use 2.5 to 3-inch head pins. You'll need 2 lengths of chain. These ones are 1.25 inches long. You will also need 2 jump rings and 2 earring hooks. When you're picking out your metal pieces, make sure that you stay with the same tone. You'll also need a few tools for this project. You will need 1 or 2 pairs of round nose pliers and a pair of wire nippers. You can use wire cutters for this project, but the wire nippers have a finer point and help you get a closer cut on the wire. Our first step is going to be putting our teardrop beads onto the head pins. Start with any of the colors and thread the bead onto the head pin with the smaller end first. This might look upside down, but you'll want it to look something like this. After the crystal bead is on there, put 2 spacer beads onto the head pin and set it to the side. Repeat this for all of the head pins until all of your teardrop beads are strung. Now that we have all of our beads on our head pins, we're ready to start stringing them onto our piece of chain. I'm going to string these in a specific order. From the bottom to the top, it will be purple, yellow, green, red, and then blue. And I'll repeat this pattern on the second earring. I'm going to set the second set of head pins off to the side and work with one set first. To attach our head pins onto our chain, we're going to do a simple wire wrapped loop. To do this, grasp the head pin in the jaws of the round nose pliers, about 1/8 of an inch above where the beads stop. At this point, we're going to bend the head pin 90 degrees. Next, reposition your pliers into the corner of the 90-degree bend. Then bend the unbeaded portion of the head pin around the nose of the pliers. This will form an open loop that looks kind of like our earring hooks. Set your pliers aside and pick up your piece of chain. We're going to thread the head pin into the last link on this piece of chain. This is where it gets a little finicky. Once your head pin is hooked into your chain, grasp the head pin at the loop with your round nose pliers. This can take a couple tries to get it to stay, so be patient. Once your pliers are situated, continue bending the unbeaded portion of the head pin around the round nose pliers until the wire doubles back on itself. At this point, reposition your pliers again and start to bend the head pin around on itself, wrapping the unbeaded portion around the beaded portion so that it looks like a coil. Wrap the head pin until it reaches the last of the spacer bead. Use your wire nippers to cut the extra head of the head pin away from the coil, and you've done your first wire wrap. And onto our next color. I'm going to work with the yellow next. Again, grasping the head pin in my round nose pliers 1/8 of an inch from the last spacer bead. Turn the head pin, bend the head pin until there's a 90-degree angle. Reposition your pliers into the bend on the head pin. Wrap the unbeaded portion of the head pin around the tip of the round nose pliers, but don't fully close the loop yet. We're going to pick up our piece of chain that has our purple bead on it again. Insert the yellow hooked head pin into the second link on the chain away from where the purple head pin is. Essentially, the chain order should be purple, skip a chain, yellow. Hook the yellow head pin into that second chain. Position your pliers back into the loop on the head pin. Bend the unbeaded portion of the head pin around the round nose pliers, closing your loop. Reposition your pliers again and begin to wrap the unbeaded portion of the head pin back around itself until it stops at the last spacer bead. Use your wire nippers to cut the extra head pin as close as you can to the coil. It is helpful to place your hand over this free end so that it doesn't fly away from you and possibly hit something. Continue using this method to attach all of the lights onto both of your chains.
Repeat this whole process with the second piece of chain and the rest of your light beads. Feel free to rewind the video and watch it again so you can follow along for the second earring. Now that all of our light beads are on the chain, we're ready to add our earring hooks. Using both pairs of round nose pliers, gently twist open the jump ring. Thread the earring wire and then the last link on the chain. Use both pairs of pliers to twist the ring closed again. Repeat this process for the second earring wire, and you're all done. Here are our finished string light earrings. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.